Men are the prize. Now, this is probably going to be the most pick-me I've ever said in my life. But I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know that men are the prize. Men are the prize. Now, when I'm talking about men, I'm speaking about Black men in the United States. Let's do some math. The real math, not that girls y'all be doing. Black women make up 7% of the U.S. population. Black men make up 6.5% of the population. You see how that's already less? All right, let's go a little bit deeper. Out of that 6.5% of men, 2.8% of those men are incarcerated. So that leaves you roughly, 3.7% of men to choose from. Oh, but wait, some of those men suck. So you have about 0.18% of those men. So what does that leave you with? 3.52% to your 6.98% women. Supply and demand, you are not the prize. The men are the prize. Because it's less of them and more of us. This is simple.
I have a theory around why so many amazing type A girls are single.
They're probably single because guys don't think they're amazing. Shocker, unfortunately, it doesn't matter if you think they're amazing unless they're a lesbian. Because newsflash, type A usually means they act like a dude.
Can men just not exist? They literally ruin everything. I'm so sick of them. I'm sick of going out into society and you guys are there.
Shut up.
See, I didn't want to say it first because then people call me disrespectful and condescending. But yeah, I agree.
I have found that relationships work best when the man prioritizes the woman and the woman prioritizes herself.
I have found that relationships are guaranteed to fail when you take dating advice from strangers on the internet.
Well, honey, I talk business and I have a business degree, so...
That's fantastic.
I'm letting you know that I can get with you with the education of business. I don't need to be explained the foundation of business. I'm just letting you know.
Well, I'm asking the question, so...
And I'm answering
if you're knowledgeable, then you should be able to explain it properly.
I did explain it properly. I said I'm starting to...
You said you should not have to answer it at all.
Yeah,
That's
can we
respectfully. You don't like argumentative men.
Okay, all right. How do you handle conflict with women?
I think I try to have some rationale, but when I realize there's no, I leave the scene. I think two adults can have a conversation with intelligence.
You got a question for me?
Do you have any dietary restrictions?
I like snacks. Is that what you're asking? I'm just kidding.
The reason why I asked because you look like a traditional natural woman. And I know normally those, as you're talking about natural things or natural values, and most of the time they have dietary restrictions.
Okay, so I am a pescatarian.
I'm
okay.
a pescatarian too. Where you want to go? What you want to do?
What country you trying to move to?
Cameroon, the first choice.
I'm Cameroonian.
Come on now.
No, I'm not kidding.
Me too.
Yo. No way.
Yo. Yeah. Yo. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
So look, let's just get to it then. So it's a yes for you then?
Absolutely.
Is it a yes for you? It's a yes. Okay, all right, go ahead, take your match, get on.
There it was. Just like that. Stupid versus somebody that knows how to act, who knows how to talk. Just talk to somebody like you got some sense. Well, you know what? I'm going to end this conversation and pop the balloon. That's what she was doing. She was ending the conversation. Oh, well, I don't do that. Pop. Oh, okay. And he moved on just like he should have. Let's me and you have a conversation. What wavelength? Oh, I'm pescatarian. Me too. I want to go to Cameroon. I'm Cameroonian. Well, let's get out of here and go on a date and see what we can find. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Can you please let me out my room, please?
This is fucking ridiculous.
Can you please let me out my room? Can you please let me out my room? Right now, she blocking me in my room. Excuse me.
Bro, no. Can you please hear me out? Like I'm.
What you mean no? What do you mean no? What do you mean? I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to put your stuff in us so you can leave.
Be with another bitch is already set up when I wasn't cheating on you.
No, I'm not saying none of that. I just asked you to leave. I just asked you to leave.
Just look at this person calling me to fucking make this shit right to tell you that I'm not cheating.
I just asked you to leave, bro. That's all I did. That's all I did.
It's set in stone that they don't want to be with me because I cheated with you.
So
can you just...
here they are. The police on the way. Bro, can you please hear this man out? I've been telling him to please leave me the fuck alone, bro. Can you please hear them out, bro?
Man, can you move out the way, please? She's not letting me. She's not letting me leave the room right now.
I was not cheating on you with this man, bro. I swear to fucking God, can you please just fucking hear me out? Like, seriously.
Hey man, I don't wanna laugh, but this shit weird. This shit lame.
Cause they're not even fucking a part of, like, I didn't cheat on you. That's what's fucking weird. You went through my phone and I didn't cheat on you. I'm telling them to leave me the fuck alone. That's why it's weird. And they're steady calling back and calling back and calling back and calling back to let you know that that's not what the fuck is going on with your bitch. So what are you tripping for?
Can you let me out, please?
Like, I'm not fucking cheating on you, bro. Can you please just hear me out? You ready to fucking new bitch and I ain't did shit to you.
See, this is what she do. She won't even let me.
A man's brain really is built to be a protective force. So let me show you how intense his brain is. So in the face of a threat, the right amygdala, which is primed for processing negative stimuli like fear, will throw a key in his ignition and he'll start to scan the environment for danger. This scanning sort of acts like a carburetor in a car, pushing dopamine and adrenaline into the brain like fuel. And now this engine is on. Then the paraqueductal gray shifts his body into gear, quieting all the noise and any pain in his body, and he zeroes in on coordinating whether he is going to shield or strike. Then his anterior cingulate cortex for motor functioning draws him into action, but the prefrontal cortex sort of acts like brakes and controls the force so that he can protect without causing additional harm. And then this is the best part. The guardianship that came from him stirs vasopressin in his brain, and he bonds to what he just protected. It's a whole system. And if the system gets disrupted at any place, he won't be able to operate in protection and the engine will malfunction. So maybe there was an intense trauma that flooded too much fuel into the brain, and now we see explosive anger, control, intimidation, a need for order, or maybe he wasn't welcomed home after battle with love, and now the engine won't turn over. He'll be more passive, he'll withdraw, he'll numb himself, but a man needs to be brought through this whole journey to build a warrior, a man of dual complexity, equal parts battle and bond. And it felt necessary for me to talk about this today, to showcase this protection mode in a male brain, because the shoring up of the common man to stand up against evil and tyrants is a necessary part of protecting freedom and humanity in our world. We need warriors, not a soldier who just follows orders, but a grounded combatant against anything that destroys life, a warrior with fire in his belly, a duty to remain, and a devotion to truth.
Well, modern women, really honestly and truly, women in general can't handle the intensity of a man. It's way too much. Some men can't handle the true intensity of other guys, to be quite honest with you. They too much, right? So, I mean, in all fairness, a man could be, his intensity and his strength can be extremely, it's more than intimidating. It can literally strike fear in your heart. The man has the ability to do that. So when he goes into a mode of protection, a lot of modern women don't really understand that. So when a man has to go into that mode of protection, he's serious. Modern women play with this mode. They toggle it on and toggle it off. And that's why men are like, hey, you guys are playing games. I'm not with that, because it takes too much energy. It's too much of an emotional drain. And there's too much cleanup after the fact if a man truly goes into protective mode.
Telling these dudes, if you can't afford the maintenance, don't test drive the car.
Let's check out the HOFAX. 85 rear end collisions, 95 front end collisions, all involving alcohol. Bitch, you don't need a test drive. You need an interlock device. The intake gets clogged every time it goes out to the bar. It's been in the shop for lower end leaks and makes an annoying noise on the top end constantly. The back seat has blisters and the front seat has cracks. This is not something you finance, boys. This will ruin your credit. What you do with this is you go ahead and you throw $1,000 cash at it because it's got a nice paint job, and you ride that thing till it breaks down on the side of the road and leaves you walking. Have a great day.
Why do women have to prove their value, but men just have to show up?
I think it's the opposite. I think men have to prove their value, and a woman just has to show up.
It depends on who you asking.
No, I think if you're pretty, you could get access to the parties, to the invite only, to the private yachts, to the billionaires club, just because they want to have you in the room. Now, we know what they want you in the room for, but if you're smart, you don't go for it. You work the room so that they invite you directly after. Whereas men got to earn the money, have the job, get the accolades, do the achievement in order to even almost have access to some of the things that she gets. So I actually feel like beautiful women get much more opportunities than men do. What y'all think?
It just depends on who you're asking.
Personally, I don't know the answer. I just feel like for me personally, I think that as a woman, I get more opportunities than a man because I think that men want me to be in the space, but they don't expect me to come with the character or the work ethic that I come with. And that's what keeps me in the room. What I look like might get me to the room, maybe if I know somebody, but what I'm built by or built of is what keeps me in the room.
Women are thinking this. Hey, he invited me for a cup of coffee. I know through other men who are teaching women how to invest in themselves and find a partner who actually wants to go out with them and get to know them, has told me this is very low value. I have to decline this because this person doesn't value me and probably goes out with a bunch of other people for coffee, and I want someone who's making an investment up front and shows me that they care and put some thought into this date.
When it's women that are making TikToks and Instagrams over and over again, disrespecting men, saying they cheated on their boyfriend, man-hating, saying I'm entitled to this and that, who is surprised that men are now given pause and saying, I don't know if I want to shell out cash on date one?
Why would I chase you when women don't run from the niggas they want?
Who wants to cash out me $200 so I can get my nails done because I'm tired of LA?
I played this guy by fucking him and ghosting him. And then all my friends fucked him and ghosted him. He really thought he had a chance with us.
I don't really know what the plan was, but he won whatever game you're playing. He's probably an inspiration in his hometown.
Yeah, I don't know if he's mad. I think his therapy and recovery would be him going to a therapist and being like, did that really actually happen to me? Am I living in a dream? Am I in a secret utopia?
My bitch just texted me and told me she just got home and she about to take a nap. And when she wake up, she gonna hit me back. Whole time I'm at this bitch crib right now, she ain't even here. Like, where you at?
When you say I don't chase women,
I say that, so let's hear it.
my first initial thought is, well, then go find your man.
Well, I think we can all agree then it's a really stupid first initial thought then, can't we?
You likely aren't making plans. You aren't initiating conversation.
I only make plans and have conversations with other people that want to participate. I don't need to chase for someone's attention. Please come out with me. Nah, you're right.
Your text messages are really dry.
Mine are as funny as
What are you doing?
Valuing my own time and energy is what I'm doing. Enjoying my own peace.
Are you wanting the woman to chase you? Because if that's the case, then you probably aren't even into women. You're probably into men.
It's always the gay card that turns up, isn't it? Or, I know, crazy notion, maybe it's just that you're respectful. If you ask someone out for a coffee and they say no, you don't pressure them. You leave them to it. I know. Crazy times we live in.
I just don't get it when men say things like this.
How can I explain this really simply? Would you keep running after an ice cream van knowing it's not going to stop for you?
You probably don't text first in the morning.
You don't say good morning. You don't say good night. You don't check in.
Or that we've done all of that so often in the past it's gone completely unappreciated. Or the fact that there's other fellas doing exactly the same thing to the lady that you see. See, as you get older, you get a little bit more cautious of your time, who you give it to. You don't want to give or waste your time on people who don't give you an inkling of reciprocating that energy back. Just saying.
Like, you want to be single.
Yes.
That's what you should be.
Thanks, I think.
If you're not pursuing a woman, then you want to be a woman.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Like, this is the problem with guys nowadays. They're so fucking feminine that they want the women to do their job.
We say about this nowadays stuff, but does anyone remember dropping the handkerchief? When a lady used to indicate to a particular man that he was the one that she was interested in so he could pursue without getting a restraining order. I think we need to bring that back, but digitally, because no decent fella really wants to be one of 50 guys in your DMs buying for your attention.
No.
Yes. Now, I am a guy that's single in my mid-40s that enjoys being single, right? And I have no plans of changing that anytime soon. Not on dating apps, not entertaining anyone, can't be bothered. Once in a blue moon, someone will come along and you think, if I don't shoot my shot, I'll regret it. And that's happened to me once in the last 5 years. But when someone says no, I leave them to it. If they're not dropping the handkerchief, then there's no point chasing. It's quite simple. We're getting too old for this chasing, malarkey and second guessing and giving people attention when we don't know if they want it. Why can't people just be clearer with one another? It's so much simpler. Easier to stay single.
A lot of these modern women, you don't want to make a plan for. They get on the internet and talk like this. So there's really no incentive to make a plan for somebody like this. Somebody who can't close their mouth, there's no incentive to make a plan for. There's no incentive to make their life better.
If I took you on a first date, but I didn't want to pay for it, I wanted to split it down the middle, would you consider that a red flag?
To be honest, no, not at all. I think that especially men nowadays, they need to stand up and they need to be careful with who they're giving their money to. A lot of these women expect like shopping sprees as their first date. They are like, hey, can we go to Aventura Mall and you buy me Gucci and buy me this so you can prove that you're worthy to be my man? No, that's not how it should be. I think men are completely justified nowadays to say no and to stand their ground because they need to kind of feel out that woman to make sure that she's worth spending that money on instead of just giving a 304 a bag for the night.
So what would you recommend the amount of money a man spends on a first date is?
Nothing, man. Take her to the beach. Try to explore who she is really, and then if it goes well, maybe you could try to explore with the financials and everything, spend a little bit of money on some lunch dates. Just know that you're spending at your own risk. You have free will to do whatever you want, but just know that if you take a girl out, you do have a chance that she's going to be able to kind of swipe all that cash from you that one night.
So if a man tells a woman, we're going on a first date, but it should be at the park, and she goes, absolutely not, I'm not doing that. What does that mean to you?
It means that she's not worth it. She's probably just some money-hungry woman who does not want a serious relationship with you. I mean, somebody who, especially for myself, if I'm seriously interested in you, I'm going to go and I'm going to do whatever you want. At first, I'm going to try to get to know you. I do not care about your financials at that moment. I want to know who I'm getting myself involved with. I want to make sure you're not a criminal who's going to kill me either.
It's fun to stay at the
How many bodies did you catch in 2024?
In 2024?
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, because I'm just a truthful person, probably like 10. I'm not gonna answer.
You caught 10 this year. How many you got total?
I have 32 total.
Wow, man. Damn.
You trying to outdo yourself in 2025 or what?
No.
A little lesson.
It's not a flex to cash bodies for women.
Well, you know, at least she's honest. I can respect honesty. A lot of these women out here would lie and have you thinking that they have less bodies than they actually do. So I can respect that. And then she's not delusional about it. She's like, well, you know, I probably shouldn't have been doing that. I can respect that too, to be honest.
Let me tell you something. When you marry a Brazilian, you get a wife, which means that we are ready to settle down and have your kids. You have a private chef because we were taught to cook with flavor and sazon. So that's what we're gonna do. You get a nurse because you're like a little baby to us. So we're gonna take care of you until you feel well again. And we are ride or die. So I'm not leaving you, you're not leaving me. We're gonna be stuck forever. Like na saúde e na doença, okay? And you get a private investigator because if you think that you're gonna do like some sneaky shit behind my back, that's not happening, baby. I'm gonna know every move that you do, okay? That sounds pretty nice for me. I would marry me also.
99.9% of men cannot afford financially to sometimes pay 100% of everything. And that does not mean that he is not a man. You are in the top 1%, sir, okay? So I'm not saying to allow any lazy bum in your household without contributing financially, but what I am going to say is people have to get away from a lot of the social media gurus, and you got to do what works for your household.
Facts.
Because this man is in the top 1%. He's in the top 1%. And if you run across a rich man like this who can 100% provide for you, I'm here for it. But however, don't pass up the man that can only pay 80% of the bills. You have to do what works for your household. And guess what? It's more to providing than just financially. Because let's just say he pay 100% of the bills, but he's not available emotionally. Let's just say he pay 100% of the bills financially, and he treats your kids like shit.
Man, this is the Nothing But the Truth live podcast.
Oh, and you sent get the fuck up out my comments. Y'all think y'all slick trying to pick up these roach bitches in my comments. Like, this what they be saying. Oh, you just need to buy these women shit and stop asking questions. And these roach bitches is liking this comment and writing under it. That's a man. That's a real man. That's a king. Shut up. Then I clicked the profile. He looks like Rick Ross when he used to work for corrections before he got money. What are y'all talking about? That's how y'all bitches end up with them ugly ass deadbeat baby fathers. Always chasing the money. Fuck is you talking about? That said buy you bitches something and y'all was just ready to fuck him. And I be on TikTok looking at these fucking Diddy and R. Kelly shits. These bitches be in the comments like, oh, they was fucking with the wrong bitches because for the right amount of money, I would have kept my mouth shut. That's why I don't take y'all serious. The bitches that really be going through shit, that be getting assaulted and shit by men, they never get through because you got bitches like y'all up here just trying to fuck with anybody just because they giving y'all some money. Y'all mothers never told y'all don't talk to strangers. Y'all's one of them bitches that go up to them vans that say we got candy. Stupid bitch.
The biggest red flag is when a woman is proud of revenge.
What is the pettiest thing you've done to try to impress somebody?
My first boyfriend in high school, he cheated on me, so I cheated back on him, and then I emailed his coach to drug test him, and he lost his D1 scholarship. Hi, Joe.
Are you proud of that?
Very proud.
And it's not just what she did, it's the fact she thinks is an accomplishment. Getting beasted, then destroying his career. And Pete, dude didn't even know she did it.
Who did you cheat with?
Another prospect.
Was it just one and done or like?
Yeah.
Did he find out about it?
No, he doesn't need to know.
So what was the point of doing it if you didn't find out about it?
For me, I can't let that slide.
If she's proud of destroying herself just to get even, you better be prepared for the worst. That's not revenge. That's her attaching her worth to thinking she ruined somebody. And yeah, dude was in the wrong or maybe in the wrong, but responding that way only builds an identity on chaos and not growth.
Boyfriend.
You got a boyfriend now?
Yeah.
Getting in a new relationship and still being proud of poor decisions. I wonder what happens next.
I agree. I think we can all say that bro was in the wrong, but he doesn't know. So it's likely he doesn't care. I mean, that man might have moved on, got married, running his own business. You literally did nothing but made yourself look like an idiot.
I've never encountered a guy, or at least entertained someone, who has sat there and asked me, what do you bring to the table? No masculine man asked that question.
Why would that be a hit to masculinity?
It would be a hit to masculinity.
Why?
because you know that a woman is there to compliment you and she's an asset to you.
Doesn't sound like you're an asset. Sounds like you just cost $10,000 a month. But when you were asking what you bring to the table, you're like, well, I'm a good human being. That's what you're saying. It's like, okay, but he's a good human being and he's spending $10,000 a month. So when you're asking, what do you bring to the table? Since it's strictly a materialist worldview that you have, there's only a material mindset here. The material mindset is, well, it's expected that I provide a material dinner and I clean the house, and these are all material things. The expectation from him is that he provides material with way harder, right? $5,000, $10,000. in order to complement things that you desire, right? So if they ask really, they're asking, what do you bring to the table? Saying, what do you complement that he desires?
Unfortunately, most men just kind of want a trophy, and I think that's the most material thing ever.
That's it.
So if you go to Medellin, Colombia, you will walk down the streets and you will see girls on a scale of 1 to 10 physically. You will see 9s and 10s working at a taco shop or doing janitorial work on the side of the street with a very minimalist life. Very happy. Smile on their face, probably live at home with their parents, don't even have a car, don't have anything materialistic. Very approachable, very friendly, just very grateful to be alive and easy to date as a guy. On the flip side, here in the States, there will be girls that on a scale 1 to 10 on the bottom half of that scale that are challenging to date, very pretentious, non-approachable. Guys will approach them like, oh, like you're creeping me out. Very, very challenging to date. And for that reason, I'm like, guys, like this is not normal here in the US. When I go travel to all these countries, Hungary, Budapest, Ireland, Australia, everywhere else in the world, women are like a lot more approachable, a lot more easy to get along with. They're less pretentious.
The reason a lot of these women are not being tugged at by men in any way, shape, or form is because guys don't like their energy. Guys don't like what they're prioritizing. Guys don't like that they, yes, have this long roster of guys before them because they spent their 20s, just loose as could be. Guys don't like that they're boss babes. Guys don't like their boss babe energy. Guys don't like that if they have a child, they're not going to want to stay home. Guys don't like that, they have a boatload of guy friends that are like my friends, aka my backups. Guys don't like a lot of stuff that women in these cities are doing. Right? So they're not interested. And just because you deem women as meeting all of your requirements as a woman doesn't mean they're meeting the guy's requirements, because women are now optimizing themselves for themselves, not to attract a man.
A bitch really got on here and said, I can tell how serious to take it based upon where we go for our first date. So everybody in the comments is like, well, all right, super bitch, where do you have to go on a first date for you to take a man serious? This bitch says an expensive restaurant, somewhere where he sets the tone for the rest of our lives together. You bitches are not Disney princesses, gang. Most of you are, and it's not like a bitch don't deserve to go to an expensive restaurant. My thing is, bitch, a date is what? A date is for us to be understanding whether or not we're going to be spending our lives together and developing a legacy, which is children and marriage. So what part of that says you got to eat a $500 steak to figure out if you're going to be a fucking wife or not? You bimbo head bitch. What the fuck do you be talking about other than nothing? I got it. Nothing. Because who the fuck? You don't make sense, bitch. The best part about being 30, gang, just old enough to peep through the bullshit. You're a seasoned veteran at this point, but you just young enough to entertain it. See, when you 40, you don't even entertain little hoe like this. I'm young enough to be like, no, bitch, you're dumb.
I don't want to live with my husband. I want him to live like down the hall.
Yeah, same. And like sleep in separate rooms?
Mm-hmm.
Go away.
I would turn
that's 1950.
That side of the house into a dual master. So knock down that wall between those. That's your side. This my side. You can come stay with me whenever. I can come stay with you, whatever. But we have separate spaces, separate bathrooms, separate.
I wouldn't do it that way, but I would definitely do like a woman cave and a man cave. I mean, like, sure, but where are you sleeping every night? Are you sleeping in the bed with your man? 100% every night. But throughout the day, I'm trying to read a book. Necessary. I'm trying to drink. I'm trying to do the things that I do. I want to play and make up. I don't have time for you coming around here talking.
Just being around.
Shut the fuck.
Married man here. I would rather sleep in a baby stroller in an alley than get treated like this. I would rather sleep in my childhood room on a race car bed with Ninja Turtle sheets. I would rather sleep the rest of my life in an airplane seat in an exit row that does not recline. You want me to lead, provide, and protect. And this is what I get out the deal.
Go away.
Imagine writing home to your mama or calling your mom and say, hey mom, I think I found the one. You're going to send invitations to your entire family so they can go see you, stand at the altar, and the person you with say stuff like,
go away.
And imagine these people praying to God asking for a spouse. This don't even sound like a partnership. This sounds like a parent telling you to go to your room.
Go away.
If you are the table, there's some legs definitely missing. And if you're living in a different space, who's paying the mortgage? Because I'm not paying the mortgage and I'm not living with you, or I need to live in another space. Who signs up for this? None of this has anything to do with love. And it sounds like she don't like you. And if there's a dude that watches this and be like, ooh, I want to marry her, you don't need a wife. You need self-esteem.
Go away.
So I want to say, if this is happening, what you mean to tell me is you're paying half of the bills, right? He don't need to be providing 100%. When you say you don't want your husband around you, you mean you don't want everything that comes with your husband around you as well, right? I hope that goes for both of that, or for all of that.
So I just found out that I'm not hot. And this was based on a really humbling experience where I'm trying to get 4 men together to help me move a really heavy object from point A to point B. Not a far point A to point B either. And I can't do it. It can't be done. I'm in hell. I've tried for days, texting every man I know. Can you please come help me move this heavy thing? It's a piece of granite, by the way. I think we can use that as a gauge. Number 1, can you get a group of men to help you move a heavy object from point A to point B? Number 2, how far can you get them to move it? Because what I need is a piece of granite moved about 15 feet. Cannot gather 4 men to do that. Oh, I can't. I'm going to be hung over that day. Oh, I can't. Football is on. Wah. Number 1, they don't make men like they used to. Because how come nobody wants to be helpful? Little helpless old me? You want me to pick up the granite slab? Why? You're not being helpful. Number 2, I need to level up.
I'm sorry, but this is not telling of how hot you are. This is telling of how many men that you've placed in your friend zone. And it sounds like they all exited themselves without you even realizing. Because if you think that men are just going to give all of that effort, all of that time just because you're attractive and you're literally just sitting there and you're not reciprocating anything back, they are over that. They would rather have a true friend that they're putting effort towards, or they'd rather have somebody that's wanting to be in a real relationship with them. It's that simple. Stop trying to expect things from men when you're giving them literally nothing back.
My hot take is that men shouldn't be allowed to sit because it's truly an epidemic that every time I go on the transit, it's full train. Majority of the people sitting are men. Like, as long as there's a gender pay gap, women should not be standing on public transit.
You see video after video after video now of women complaining that men aren't being gentlemen. And I'm going to make video after video after video where I remind them that they're not being gentlemen because you told them not to be a gentleman because you found it offensive at the time. And now all of a sudden you want them to be a gentleman again because you snapped your fingers like this. And they are not a dog. It's not Pavlov's dog, honey.
No reason why someone that's 45 is trying to talk to you. You're young.
I'm not gonna hold y'all. Controversial take. I think women only have these opinions now because women have focused more on their careers, education, and being independent. They're older in age, and now they're pushing these agenda more only because they're now at an age to settle down now where they're in their 30s. You guys are all against these men dating younger women because it takes options away from you guys. Guys your age now will go date younger women.
Oh, I didn't know.
There's a girl who recently outed a Lakers player for leaving her stranded in Turks and Caicos.
You serious?
She tweeted, DeAndre Ayton security left me outside in the middle of nowhere in Turks and Caicos because I won't have sex with him. His attorney advised him to leave her in the middle of nowhere once she refused sex, and this is why. Once a woman refuses sex, anytime thereafter that sex occurs, that sex could be considered harassment or coercion or even. By removing her and not having any further contact, there's a dividing line showing that sex was refused and sex never occurred. So is the player then guilty of not having the conversation that he expects sex from the PJ flyout?
Well, you shouldn't be going flying out if you not think about you're going to have sex with this man.
Have you ever offered to fly a woman out and you didn't want to have sex with her? It's on the box.
I think that's already been established before you got flown out.
I mean, let's look at this with a lens of common sense. He's not your man. Y'all are not friends. You already know what you're there for. You know you're there so that he can spend some money on you. Why would a man want to spend money on you if you're not going to give him anything? That doesn't make any sense. Would you spend money on somebody if you weren't going to give them anything? I could see if we're talking about like $10 or $20 for a dinner or something like that. You might give that to somebody on the side of the street or one of your friends. Hey, yeah, I got you. I'll pay for you. But we're talking about dinner and vacation. We're talking about a vacation. You're staying in a room, man. Vacations are for friends and family. You are neither one of those. Neither one of those. What would you think that you would be? What would you think that you'd be doing there? I mean, bro. And then they want to get there and be like, well, I already got it now. He can't take it away from me. and he's going to be the gentleman, and he's just going to let me stay in the room, and he's just going to take this as an L. No, he's not going to take it as an L. He's going to distance himself from you. Oh, and by the way, it makes it worse because he now has an attorney, and he can pay that attorney a lot of money. And so when the attorney says to do something, he's paying him a lot of money, and the attorney is going to give him good advice. You don't have an attorney because you're broke. And when you don't have an attorney, you don't have legal advice. So you don't have a legal leg to stand on, stupid. So now you're out there stranded in the middle of nowhere trying to figure out how you're going to get back home. You got to make a call. And now because you're stranded, you have to get somebody from home to pay your way back home. And now they got to come out of pocket $500, $600, $700, $800, sometimes $1,500, $1,600, $2,000. $2,000 to get your stupid behind back home. Oh, please, please. Now they got to get online on Facebook begging people, trying to start a GoFundMe, trying to get your silly behind back to the house because you decided you was going to go out there, your stupid self, and see if you can get something for nothing. Modern women, man. Y'all be talking about I choose the bear. I don't even know if the bear, if y'all are talking about the bear and how the bear behaves with common sense, I don't even know if y'all would be out there. I don't even know if y'all should be out there. At that point, I can see why you would choose the bear. Because the bear would be exhibiting common sense and you would be a threat to the bear. You would be a danger to the bear. I mean, my God, at that point in time, you might go over there and touch the bear's cubs. The bear tell you to get away from me and my family. You don't understand boundaries and rules, so you go over there touching stuff. Get away. I will grab all of my cubs by the neck and drag all of them off. If I have to, leave me and my family alone. If you jump into the sea, it doesn't matter. Sharks, whales, fishies, all of them should be afraid of you. You are a danger to everybody. With this type of stupid thinking, who knows what you're going to do next? You just made somebody quickly, within a matter of minutes, drain their bank account of $2,000 for a plane ticket back home. Who knows what other dangerous choices you're going to make? Stupid.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if he's paying the mortgage so that you can use the money that you make to get your nails done, your hair done, have the occasional TJ Maxx run, get a coffee every now and then he's still providing for you. He's putting a roof over your head, and it gives you the freedom to do the other little girly things that you want to do. And gratitude is a really lost virtue in today's society, especially amongst women. Like, for some reason, we think that we're entitled to millions of dollars and vacations 24/7 and buying anything we want and just spending all the money we want. And that's just not reality. And if this is something that you're struggling with, like you look at your husband and think that he's not enough and the money he makes is not enough and the job he does is not enough and the work that he does is not enough, and you look at your life and you say that it's not enough and the things you have are not enough and you want to spend more money and you want to have more things, number one, I would encourage you to take a few days, weeks, or months off of social media. Like, get tapped into your reality and not other people's 1% reality that's on social media. And the second thing I would say is to practice gratitude out loud and saying things and saying, I am grateful for it, thank you God for this, and speaking it out loud. Because the truth is if you have running water, food, and a roof over your head, you're doing better than 90% of the population. If you have a man who works hard for you, regardless of how much money he makes, you are doing better than a lot of people. And you're not entitled to just swipe the credit card and spend all of his money. A really great chapter of the Bible for you to read is Philippians chapter 4, specifically verses 4 through 14. And it's Paul writing from prison. And he's basically talking about how contentment is the secret to life. It's the secret to enjoying your life. And I'm paraphrasing, but he says, I know how to live on everything and I know how to live on almost nothing. And I'm content in both situations. Like, if you're watching this video right now, you're doing better than most of the population.
Nobody's helping me. Nobody's helping me. All these men for what? What do you want us to do?
My
My take on the Ayesha Curry situation is that she isn't disrespectful, she's just surrounded by women who see her as entertainment and don't actually care about her life or have her best interests at heart. Ayesha Curry is a chameleon. On the Call Her Daddy podcast, she plays a boss lady who struggles with finding her identity as a mom. On the Red Table Talk podcast, she's a spiritually self-aware woman who's unafraid to divulge uncomfortable truths about herself. And on an episode of The View, she's a fun and playful wine mom who lives in suburbia and likes watching Magic Mike. With every character she plays, the people she's speaking to, Alex Cooper, Jada Pinkett Smith, the ladies on The View, know how she's going to be perceived by the public, but they don't care as long as what she's saying is entertaining. Ayesha Curry is the perfect example of why women who have a lot going for them need to be discerning about the people they have around them. In every clip I've seen of Ayesha disrespecting her family, she's surrounded by other women applauding her when what she really needed was for someone to hold her accountable and question her words and actions. And it's worth mentioning that would be the right thing to do as the journalist or podcaster interviewing her. But ultimately, Ayesha Curry is a really good reminder that not everyone who yes queens you has your best interests in mind, especially if you're a woman with a lot to lose.
Well, I still can't excuse her here because she's in a different area of her life. And so she has to act accordingly. They're not going to go home to Steph. If a man hears other guys talking about something that he can't necessarily get involved in, then he's like, man, y'all ain't got to go home to her. I do. I'm trying to keep the peace in my house. And that needs to be the same way that she handles some of these talk shows that she's going on. How many times do you see Steph up there talking crazy? And he's on more podcasts. He's in more interviews, in game, after game, pre-game. He's been in interviews for the championship, during, middle, end, before, middle, end, all that. Afterwards, talk shows. And I don't think, never once have you heard Steph talk crazy. Never once. Always a pretty good representation, right? There's been a few times he's crashed out, right? But then he might come back and say, hey, you shouldn't have done that, or emotions got the best of me. Ayesha's not doing that. Ayesha, and I get playing into it and doing whatever, but you're on a different level. Y'all always talk about being on a different level, and until it's time for you to get in order and check yourself, that's what is happening right now.
People love to ask me all the time, why don't you go on a bunch of dates? Why don't you meet different people? Why don't you go here? Why don't you go there? Listen, I'm not that kind of person. First of all, I want to be with one person for the rest of my life, so I don't do that. Second of all, I've never been on a dating app. Third of all, I spend all of my time either at home, at work, or at the gym. Fourth of all, I don't entertain people anywhere. And fifth of all, I live in Switzerland, which is the most introverted, not fun, not exciting, not going out, not meeting people country in the world. So yeah.
A man is provider, woman is a stay-at-home mom. That's a modern idea. That is not a traditional idea, my friends. Husband goes to work, kisses his wife in the morning, takes his briefcase, walks off, comes back home for dinner. Mother is around the house doing householdish things and the kids. And then that is the traditional nuclear family unit that we should aspire to. The only time in history when that has happened really started in the 1940s. That is a consequence of technological and industrial changes that happened because of technology, especially in the Western world. But you go back before 1940 and that's not how it went down. There was something called the Household Economic Project. Usually there was agrarian societies or these small towns and communities. Certain households had certain specialized kinds of labor, if not farming, where they were maybe the blacksmith, maybe they were the shoemaker, whatever. The husband would not grab a briefcase at 8 a.m. in the morning and walk off and go to the high rise down the street. They weren't even high rises. There weren't like offices and cubicles where men spent their 8, 9, 10 plus hours of lonely existence typing away at computers. It didn't exist. The same thing is not healthy for a woman to do. It's absolutely not healthy for a mother of young children to do. That is a very modern construct. That is not traditional, my friends. The husband would work from home. The wife would also work from home. They'd often work together. The kids would often work with them. And the amount of time they spent separate was much less than the amount of time they spent together. All right. So what is the solution, you might be asking?
And I guess men are still going to want to know, okay, what is it that the woman is supposed to be doing reliably, consistently? What can we expect her to do besides sit there and say, I'm not supposed to be doing any of this?
Rules I have for him?
Rules I have for her.
Let's go. My husband don't cook, nor does he make his plate, okay? I do all the cooking and I bring him his plate right to him, okay?
My wife cannot take out the trash. She can't use those pretty, dainty, little, weak fingers. No, I'm just playing.
My fingers ain't weak.
She can't use those pretty, little, dainty fingers to be taking out the garbage. I mean, like, she's capable of doing it, but queens don't take out trash.
He gotta come home to a peaceful household, okay? Like, ain't no running around screaming, dirty diapers. Everything is peaceful and calm when he gets home after he's got done working.
My wife can't pump gas. I don't, who knows whose hands have been on that pump? Like,
I don't let my husband carry the weight of the world by himself, okay? I'm there for him emotionally, and most men don't get that. Like, be your man's peace, okay?
my wife cannot pay for dates. We going on a date? That's on me, baby.
He cannot grocery shop, okay? Like, I do all the grocery shopping, and he's gonna bring home exactly what's on the list. And what's the fun in that? If you're gonna shop, then shop. That's why I need to go to the grocery store and do all the shopping. So I can shop till I drop.
I need the pow, pow, pow on a consistent basis.
Fellas, don't be fooled by these females talking about, well, if you would provide, then I would submit. No, it's if your pay shows up dick, legs spread for some bread. She'll give you the buns for them funds. She'll give you that top for that guap. She'll teabag them balls for the trip to the mall.
Is that it is best that the mother and the father of a child be in the same household to raise that child.
Agreed.
And mostly the whole planet Earth agrees on that. Now, the question is, what are the impediments to that occurring? Well, one of the main impediments to that is female promiscuity. And it's a reasonable question. Say, well, Marquette, what about male promiscuity? It's also a great evil. But the female promiscuity is a greater evil. Well, Marquette, well, how could that be? We're equal, aren't we? No. We are, in fact, not equal. We're not equal and we're not the same. You see, if you love, go out and you're promiscuous, you don't know who the father of the child is. Disgusting. If I go out and I'm promiscuous, we know precisely who the mother is and we know precisely who the father is. So if we wanted to proceed in family, we could very easily do that. That's number one reason why it's different. Number two reason why it's different is that if you and I both go out and we're promiscuous, you're stuck with the baby. And you have oxytocin, a chemical, a divinity that connects you to the child, whereas the man just carries on, starts a whole new life and a whole new family. So the burden of promiscuity and making mistakes is much lower for the man. So it is in protecting our women, in fact, protecting them from themselves, that I speak against female promiscuity.
Okay, if you're a man, I want to give you some game. Women, I'm not going to speak for all women, but high value women, and we all have our own understanding, our standards when it comes to what's high value and what's not. But women who love unconditionally, women that are patient, women who are actively doing the inner work and actively allowing God to mold them into wives, they're not trying to play y'all. They're not. Yeah, like when God starts to mold a woman into being a wife, all the mind games go out of her head and she goes into her heart. And so what a woman does from that place is genuine. She's not trying to play games.
So there's a guy in the comments that said, well, first, Black Spider guy advice said be a man for a year and then come back. But another guy that said, you know, you're pretty, but just because you're pretty doesn't mean you should give advice. You said absolutely nothing. Another dude said, what about all the other dudes you played before me? I can still hear their screams. Another guy says, respectfully, sis, what you're saying sounds good, but the word says the heart is deceitful above all things. It's desperately wicked. I think it goes on to say, who can know it? Which one? Who can know what you're actually thinking? Your basically is saying you think you want something, but your mind and your body, your emotions, because they're fleeting, they can be like, oh yeah, we want this. But then in another moment, what was I thinking? Why would I have even wanted that? Why would I have even said that? Because that's what you wanted in the moment. So while you're talking about we're letting God do this, and this, you need to focus on stability And consistency. How can I show up for somebody consistently every single day? Not perfect, consistent. Consistent. All the way through. That's what a man is looking for. Consistency. I'm consistently peaceful. I'm consistently fit. I'm consistently feminine. I'm consistently friendly.